Good early morning from Manas International Airport. Today we're trying out SkyFru, an air traffic company subsidiary. They own one 737-300 and we're gonna fly on it to Osh today. It's almost 6 in the morning and our flight departs at 6:50. Check-in closes soon, so we gotta go. Hey, so I went to check in at the airport, got myself assigned a window seat, 22A, and now it's time to go ahead and pass the security. Past the security. We were here already a few days ago when we flew to Karakol on Osman Airlines, a brand new Kyrgyz airline which I quite liked. That Tripreport is out now on this channel. You can go watch it after this one. Anyways, here is a bit of info about SkyFru. The airline was founded in 2023 and is practically a subsidiary of Aviatraffic Company. Operating with a single 737-300 jet, they fly to Osh, but sometimes they also operate routes to Moscow or St. Petersburg for Aviatraffic Company. This specific 737-300 is over 28 years old at the time of filming, and before flying in Kyrgyzstan, it flew with Shenzhen Airlines in China. Me and my friends are gonna fly the early morning flight to Osh with SkyFru. They operate this Bishkek to Osh route quite frequently, using not only this aircraft but sometimes Aviatraffic's planes too. The route itself is very busy and it is also operated by Aeronomad, Osman Airlines and few others like TestJet. We will be flying TestJet's Avro back to Bishkek in the evening, so subscribe to this channel now and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss that video when it comes out. By the way, I have also flown on their MD-80 as well last year. That video is also up on the channel. Upon entering the 737-300, I immediately got hit by the old smell of the plane. Without knowing how old this aircraft actually is, you could literally smell that it is very old, but not as old as the Antonov 24 which I flew in Kazakhstan last year. So we're on board this 737-300. This is the legroom. It's actually good, but not the best. And it seems like the row before us, in front of us, has a better legroom for some reason. This is the seat pocket, the tray table. The safety card. There's no sickness bag nor any catalog. It's probably not gonna be any in-flight service here. This is the view. And this is the seat. Overhead panel. Also seems quite dated, so this is a 28-year-old 737. They boarded us quite early, which is great, but we still had to wait for our departure slot, and to be honest, it was beginning to be very freezing inside the plane as the front door remained open. Now, shortly before the scheduled departure, we saw a few technicians running up and down the stairs and into the cockpit. It was beginning to look a bit suspicious, but pushback was finally initiated a few minutes after schedule.
Айдаржан мырзалар учуу коопсуздук эрежелери боюнча учуугунда тамеки тартууга тыюу салынат. Тыгылдык телефондорду колдонууга болбойт. Кордук курчанып чөлөккүчтө тигилеген тириптеш тилчени жыйнап иллюминатордун пардасын ачып учууга даярдык көргүлө. Жалгыз арбай соода болсоң көңүл бураңыздар.
and with the beautiful sunrise in the background, we left freezing Bishkek with a delay of exactly 14 minutes, departing on runway 08. The seatbelt sign was on throughout the entire flight, so sadly I couldn't go check out the lavatory. There was also no in-flight service on this flight. Overall, the flight was very chill and relaxing, with a little turbulence here and there. The highlight of this flight was definitely the astonishing views of the snowy mountains below. So we have just reached cruising altitude of about 25,000 feet. The views are... I can't explain in words. The views are just glorious, beautiful, magnificent. We are almost midway to Osh. The sun is rising. Beautiful. The 737-300 is an older version of the 737, and it definitely even looks older. The cabin is quite dated. This aircraft used to fly in China previously, and in 2013 I think it was acquired by Aviatroffic company, and I think last year, 2024, this is being recorded in 2025. In 2024, SkyFru, a local subsidiary of Aviatroffic, has been created, and they own this one little cute 737-300, and they usually fly it on this route, Bishkek to Osh. Sometimes they fly to Moscow and other Russian cities as well, and we are turning right now. Also notice how it doesn't have a winglet. That's quite rare on 747s nowadays. So far, SkyFru seems like a very, I would say, solid airline. I mean, they got only one plane. They're a subsidiary of Aviatraffic. Pilots are giving away a few signs to the crew. I have no idea if there's going to be any in-flight service. There was no information about it anywhere. I didn't found it anywhere, but I would appreciate at least like a little drink, like on Asman Airlines. On Asman Airlines, if you ask them, they give you a drink. They just turn on the lights. I'm gonna try to check out the toilet as well, hopefully. But the seatbelt sign is still on, so we'll see about that. We're almost midway there, by the way, halfway there. I didn't understand anything because it was in Kyrgyz and Russian. I do actually understand sometimes a little bit of Russian because it's similar to Slovak, you know, Slavic languages. But there are no English announcements, it seems like, on board SkyFru, and they just turned off the lights once again. One of the flight attendants just went up and down the cabin, checked the passengers if they have seatbelts. We're probably going to be descending very soon. We have like 15 minutes left until Osh. It's a very short flight, so... Alright, time is flying incredibly fast. We are already descending down into Osh. SkyFru is a young and ambitious Kyrgyz airline that's quickly carving out a niche with its bold branding and growing regional presence. Compared to more established carriers like Aviatraffic Company, which is their parent company of course, or TestJet, SkyFru feels more fresh and more dynamic, targeting modern travelers with a playful image, nice looking website and competitive pricing. While still building its fleet and routes, it brings a welcome dose of energy to Kyrgyzstan's modest aviation scene. I am excited to see what they do next, how they're gonna expand the fleet, perhaps get more modern aircraft. Maybe they'll also start flying to Karakol soon, who knows. And to be honest, despite all of the mentioned things, I feel like this flight would be incredibly boring, to be honest, if the views weren't that glorious. But hey, I wanted to try it, and as an F-geek I appreciate the flight on this rather rare 737-300 aircraft. Also, right now, their destination map doesn't look that mind-blowing, compared to TestJet, which flies to many more destinations, not only within Kyrgyzstan. They also fly to Tashkent, Uzbekistan, and for example, Asman Airlines just recently started flying to Tajikistan from Bishkek. I also want to point out that SkyFru's website is well made for this region's standard. It functions pretty well compared to the shitty-looking, terrible, almost non-functional Aviatraffic website. Aeronomad has a pretty decent website, TestJet is also okay with a few minor bugs, and Asman is also fine. Both TestJet and Asman have their apps, which you can install on your phone as well. So I was just checking out the websites of airlines in Kyrgyzstan. This is TestJet, and I just found out that they started flying to Karakol as well. I didn't know about this, but they don't have a lot of flights. They have like, it seems like they fly on Friday and Sunday, while Asman flies, I think, as far as I remember, 3 times? No, actually 2 times a day. In June they're gonna be flying 2 times, on Sunday and Thursday. In March they added like extra flights, and the Asman flight we flew to Karakol from Bishkek. We booked it like 2 weeks prior because I noticed that they added like a flight on Friday, so we no wait, actually there were flights on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I think that's how it was. Yeah, because on Sunday we flew to Osh, so and they added a flight on Thursday, so we were there for 2 nights. From Thursday to Saturday, yes, that's how it was. But now it seems like they fly 2 times a week only. Aviatraffic Company, look at this shitty website. I mean, this looks like from like the 2000s era. Bishkek to yeah, they have plenty of destinations, and this is in Azbuka. Bishkek, Osh, help me, oh my god, Kazan, Moscow, Osh. Yeah, I don't see Karakol here, okay. SkyFru, they presumably fly to Tamchi, but I checked on flight radar, there are no flights actually on to that airport, so it seems like all of the airlines switched to Karakol instead of Tamchi. But let's just try to find if yep, as I was worried, there are no flights. Yeah, there are no flights to Tamchi, so they basically SkyFru just flies Bishkek, Osh, and back. But you can also yeah, I mentioned before that they also sometimes the aircraft is sent. I see on flight radar 24 very often that they send it to Moscow or St. Petersburg or basically all of the destinations. Or some of the destinations that Aviatraffic flies, and since it's their parent company, they just send the aircraft there sometimes, and vice versa. And yeah, as I mentioned, these flights of SkyFru are sometimes operated by aircraft which are owned by Aviatraffic. So yeah, but if you like book a flight from Bishkek to Moscow, let's say, let's to Moscow, it can be operated by SkyFru. So yeah, that's pretty much it about the websites. This is the Yasman Airlines website. It looks quite decent. They have an app as well. I don't have it downloaded anymore because I deleted it because I didn't have space on my phone. Aeronomat looks pretty decent. I don't know if it was Aeronomat, but I thought their website was way worse. But I checked it, it looks good enough. And TestJet has a nice website as well, but it responds slowly sometimes. Their app is way better. And yeah, you can choose the language here. And I like how the currency is just currency and Kyrgyz som. So yeah, yeah, that's it. Let's return to the video now, I guess.
Çıkıp aracınızda sağlıkınızda da alınanın bırakızlar. Жүгүзөрдү болсо репетиция бөлүмүнө аласыздар. Учактан чатага чыгарды эhtiyat болуңуздар. Чыгуу бизде дөзүз чакырабыз.
I never thought I would be back here, but welcome back to this hellhole, I guess. Thank you SkyFru for this nice flight down to Osh. And thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to this channel now so you don't miss out on more awesome aviation and traveling content like this. If you have enjoyed this video, like it and share it with your friends and or family, and I'll see you guys in the next video. FJ out.